Okay, so there are three major gaming news topics that I wanted to touch upon in this video today. The first one, and you probably already heard about it today, we are getting a state of play. Yes, it has finally been announced that we are getting a state of play for September 24th. That is tomorrow on a Wednesday. And so yeah, we are finally getting a state of play. The other two things I wanted to mention in this video is the I forgot that they were doing this, and I forgot that it was happening, I guess, last night. But, you know, Hideo Kojima did a live stream recently, and he basically, you know, talked about, you know, the making of, I guess, Death Stranding 2 and like the 10 years of, you know, Hideo Kojima, you know, productions and the studio and everything like that. But he also announced some new information on two of the games that, you know, he's been working on. The first one being OD, a new horror game in collaboration with Xbox Game Studios, and I'm pretty sure Jordan Peele, the director of movies like Nope and Get Out, is attached to it as well. And so I wanted to talk about that, but I also wanted to talk about his other project that he's working on, PHYSINT. That is the basically Metal Gear like tactical espionage, you know, spiritual successor to the Metal Gear Solid games, PHYSINT. And that's a PlayStation exclusive game, I believe. And so those are the three major things I wanted to talk about. Getting into the first topic though, the state of play. Now, you know, it has been, you know, rumored and talked about, and there have been articles talking about it, and there have been people that have, you know things on the inside when it comes to like gaming events and gaming news and stuff like that have been talking about there being a PlayStation state of play at the end of the month. And I didn't expect that we were, I was expecting any, you know, time around now that we would be seeing an official announcement from PlayStation saying, hey, okay, yeah, we were finally getting a state of play. But I didn't expect that we would be getting it tomorrow. That's the thing that surprised me, that we're getting it so soon. I thought it would at least be at like beyond the second to last day of September maybe, but the fact that we're getting it tomorrow is awesome. And the things that they announced, now I do, because I guess I wasn't originally going to do this, but I do want to read a PlayStation blog first, and then we can get into my thoughts and opinions on what games can possibly show up at this state of play that's for tomorrow. Okay, so the state of play reads as so. State of play returns this Wednesday, September 24th. Tune in live for more than 35 minutes of updates and reveals from PlayStation Studios and partners around the world. Tune in live this Wednesday for more than 35 minutes of reveals and news from developers around the world. We'll share new looks at anticipated third-party and indie titles, plus updates from some of our teams at PlayStation Studios, including an extending look at Sorrows, House Marquee's mysterious new title arriving next year. Look forward to nearly 5 minutes of gameplay captured on PS5. So, in terms of the games that, you know, we could possibly see at the state of play, in terms of first party games, we know that Sorrows is, you know, officially announced to be at the state of play for tomorrow. So we don't have to speculate on that. They're showing 5 minutes of gameplay for that game. But obviously the main thing, you know, Sorrows, like I know that that's a big thing, obviously, for tomorrow, and I am interested to see, you know, that game and everything. But we got to talk about the elephant in the room, and the elephant in the room is will Wolverine finally show up at this state of play? And that's basically, I feel like that's the question that everyone has on their mind right now. And my honest, like, if you want to know my honest opinion on that, if we're actually getting Wolverine at the state of play tomorrow, I don't know. I really don't know. I really do not want to get my hopes up, man. I don't want to be disappointed and be like, no, 100% sure Wolverine is going to be at the next State of Play tomorrow, like, because I don't want to like disappoint myself, and you know, I don't want to make this video and promise to you guys, oh yeah, Wolverine is definitely going to show up at the State of Play tomorrow. But I don't know, you know, there have been a lot of articles and rumors and people talking about how like there's a strong possibility that it can show up at the State of Play, but there were people saying that like if it doesn't show up at the State of Play, that it could show up at the Game Awards this year, and that's another possible thing that I can see, you know, happening if it doesn't show up at the State of Play tomorrow. But yeah, man, I hope that it shows up tomorrow. Am I expecting it to show up tomorrow? No. I'm I really am not. But it would be cool in terms of like because we do know that they're going to be, you know, it's gonna because I don't know, from like previous State of Plays, my like understanding of how I think the State of Play is going to be is that the first, you know, I guess like maybe 20 minutes of the State of Play is probably going to focus on, or maybe less than 20 minutes, I don't know, is going to, well, it's supposed to be like, what, like 35 minutes, it said? So almost 40 minutes of stuff. So I'm guessing that maybe the first 10 to, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes will focus on, I guess, third-party games. I mean, I don't know how much they're gonna focus on in terms of like third-party games and how much they're gonna show of like actual first-party titles. But I expect, you know, the first half of the first half of the State of Play to focus on third-party and indie titles, and then the latter half will focus on, you know, Saros and maybe some other possible first-party games that could show up as well. We do know that, you know, there have been rumors that Santa Monica Studios is doing a new I guess 2D Metroidvania style God of War game, so maybe that could show up. Intergalactic, don't see that showing up at this State of Play, even though that would be awesome. I think that's too soon. I don't see it showing up at the State of Play. Ghost of Yote, obviously that comes out, I think next week, I believe that game comes out. Yeah, it comes out next week, and so October 2nd, and so I don't expect them, obviously we've seen so much from that game already. I mean, the game comes out literally next week, so I don't expect them to show anything like major for that game. You know, they might just make like they might just have like a video saying, hey, the game will have new game plus or whatever, or the game, or I don't know, there's something like that. But yeah, in terms of that, yeah, the major thing that's on my mind is, will Wolverine show up? It'd be cool if it does, but I won't be surprised if it doesn't. So yeah. All right, so moving on to the last thing that I wanted to touch upon in this video, talking about the new Hideo Kojima announcements, or the new games that, you know, that he's been working on, including OD and PHYSINT. I wanted to read 2 articles, you know, talking about both of the games, and, you know, I wanted to go over my thoughts and opinions on both of them. And so, yeah, man, without further ado, let's get straight into it. Okay, so the first article reads, it is about OD. Hideo Kojima reveals first trailer for Xbox Game Studios title OD. Hideo Kojima has revealed the first trailer for OD, his upcoming Xbox Game Studios project, during this morning's Kojima Productions Beyond the Strand livestream. As previously announced, the mysterious game will star Dungeons & Dragons, Honor Among Thieves, Sophia Lily, Hunters, Odukier, I don't know if I'm saying that right or not. Well, I'm probably not though. And Euphoria's Hunter Schafer. And today's trailer showcased Lily's character in a spooky house, lighting candles before meeting a malevolent figure. On stage, Kojima explained that the game was subtitled as OD, Knock, and indeed, a creeping knocking sound can be heard throughout the trailer. The subtitle appears to differentiate Kojima's video game from the OD project being worked on by filmmaker Jordan Peele. There is a different kind of fear Jordan Peele will do. Mine is the knock, is the fear, Kojima said today. I really am afraid of big knock sounds. The trailer begins with Lily's character using a red card to open a locked red door. Partially redacted text hints at OD's story taking place 10 years after a horrifying event, where something cursed has once again done something. On the red card lies the following text: "Light the fires to celebrate their redacted." In first person, Lily's character then enters the room. It's gloomy with rain spattering the windows. But sure enough, there is a chest with an arrangement of candles, fires waiting to be lit. After lighting more of the candles, a couple of which are shaped like creepy Death Stranding babies, we get our first proper shot of Lily's character as she shakes in fear. Behind her, we hear a door open and a figure approach. As a noise like a Geiger counter increases, the trailer ends with figure grabbing Lily by the head. As previously announced, OD is being developed using Unreal Engine, and it sounds like Xbox is assisting with Kojima Productions' work using the technology. Development is well underway, Microsoft Gaming CEO Phil Spencer said of OD today. Kojima is innovating in gameplay, story, and player engagement. We're collaborating closely and we are very excited for what's next. What an amazing, I'd say, maybe teaser or a glimpse, Spencer continued. When I first saw it, I saw something new, something slightly sinister, but also something that was extremely Kojima-san. OD is bold, it's unique, and it's unmistakably from this studio, which is just incredible. We're deeply supporting the production. It's our technical work on Unreal that we're doing with the team. Both with the kind of flashy, what you're seeing on the screen, but also a lot of behind the scenes work. We have one goal in mind, which is to bring Kojima-san's vision to life for all players, everywhere, and we can't wait for players to experience it when it is ready. Other details in the game remains under wraps, other than this important warning about the game's level of horror. It's really scary and you'll probably do in your pants, Kojima said, or I don't know. So reading all of that and, watching the teaser trailer that they put out today for the game, I am really interested in OD as, a game. The way that they're talking about it, it obviously feels PT inspired in some ways. Obviously, if you don't remember, Kojima worked on a Silent Hill, or was working on a Silent Hill game, and it was called PT. There was a demo that was like shadow dropped back in the day, and people loved it. They went crazy for it, and then the game was canceled, and we never got a horror game from Kojima, essentially. And so OD is basically another crack at it, and Jordan Peele is involved, and it sounds like it's going to be like an anthology, I guess series. And so I guess Kojima's version of the game is going to be different from Jordan Peele's version of OD, or I don't know, or something like that. And so is it going to be like I don't want to say like a Telltale experience or something like that, where like they dropped the first episode, or they dropped the first game, and it's like the first episode or whatever you want to call it, and it's Kojima's game, or I guess like episode 1 is directed by Kojima and he's doing the game, and then the second episode is like Jordan Peele's I guess game or story or like whatever. And so if they're doing it like that, that's definitely interesting, and that's definitely something new. And yeah, like I'm really expecting, in terms of like, if you haven't played PT, that game does a lot of like, there's a lot of puzzle solving, a lot of mystery and solving in that game, in terms of like having to there's just a lot of interactivity when it comes to like figuring out things in that game, particularly PT. So I'm expecting OD to be similar in that vein of gameplay and everything, and so yeah, I'm definitely excited to see more of this game. I don't know, I know this is like a Xbox, technically a first party Xbox title, but I don't know, it feels like nowadays, you know, when it comes to Xbox, they definitely like to put, you know, most of their games on all platforms. And so I don't know if this is also coming to play a PS5, you know, day one, or if this is gonna be only Xbox and PC. We don't know that yet. In terms of like the release date, I don't think they shared any release date or release window for this game yet. And so I don't know, my theory is that it could come out next year, maybe. So I don't know, because, you know, he's working on OD, but he's also working on PHYSINT as well. And speaking of PHYSINT, that is the next game I wanted to talk about, and that is the next article that we are going to read right now. Hideo Kojima reveals debut poster for PlayStation exclusive PHYSINT, first cast announcement. Hideo Kojima has discussed his upcoming PlayStation exclusive PHYSINT during a Kojima Productions 10th anniversary event in Japan. Speaking on stage during the event, Kojima said development on PHYSINT was just starting. Indeed, the legendary developer is working on the concepts by himself right now, making characters and thinking about casting. It is just the start, he said. After a video message of support from Herman Holst, CEO Studio Business Group Sony Interactive Entertainment, Kojima described PHYSINT as the next stage tactical espionage action game. Kojima is of course famous for creating the Metal Gear franchise while at Konami. The tech underpinning PHYSINT is even more advanced than that powering Kojima's Death Stranding games and upcoming Xbox Game Studios exclusive OD. Whose debut trailer was revealed at the show. He said, because it's due out later in the future, no release date or even release window was mentioned. But from what Kojima said, it's OD next for Kojima Productions, then PHYSINT. So it may be some time before we see anything meaningful on the project. Kojima did tease the main character of the game via the first poster for PHYSINT. Below, it doesn't tell us much, as it's hard to make out even their face. We don't know who's playing the main character either. Expect a casting announcement at some point in the future, Kojima said. We do have the tagline, "Here comes the feeling," although who knows what that means at this stage. Kojima did confirm 3 actors set to appear in PHYSINT, however, each of whom delivered a video message expressing their excitement. Charlie Fraser, who played Mary Jabasa in Furiosa Mad Max Saga, is in the game, although we don't know which character she's playing. Also in the game are Don Lee, who played Gilgamesh in the Marvel movie Eternals, and Japanese actress Minami Hamabi, I don't know if I pronounced that right, probably didn't, who played Noraku Oshi in Godzilla -1. Interesting. Kojima ended his PHYSINT segment with a shot of Hamabi in CG form, showing off just how realistic the visuals are expected to be. We still don't know which game engine Kojima Production is using for PHYSINT. In May, Kojima said PHYSINT was still another 5 or 6 years out or away from release, suggesting a launch in 2030 at the earliest, potentially on PlayStation 6. Kojima told Les Film Francis that his aspirations to direct a movie were on hold at least until he had finished developing his first action espionage game, since he very publicly parted ways with Konami in 2015. Holst announced PHYSINT back in January 2024, but since then, news has been sparse. So yeah, reading that and everything, I definitely didn't expect any information from this game, to be honest, just from the fact that, yeah, it is a ways out from being released. Like, at this point, people are saying, or just calling it a PlayStation 6 release at this point, because it is so far out from release and everything. And so, yeah, man, I am super excited that we are getting a, don't get me wrong, when it comes to, like, Death Stranding, because I've played the first Death Stranding, or I played it, I think a month or 2 ago, or I played it this year, and playing it for the first time, Death Stranding, I definitely like, but I can definitely understand for, you know, some people how they, you know, for them, they, you know, prefer the Metal Gear style tactical espionage type game that Hideo Kojima is like known for. And so the fact that we are getting a game like that is very exciting, because the last, you know, Metal Gear game that we got from Hideo Kojima was Metal Gear 5, I believe, or the Phantom Pain. I believe that's the title of the game. And so, yeah, man, the game is obviously a ways out. The poster that we got for the game, I thought looked really cool. Obviously, it's just a concept, you know, poster or image, but like the look of like the main protagonist of the main character is definitely giving Metal Gear vibes with the all black attire and like the freaking trench coat and like the gun in the hand and everything, and just the feel of it definitely is giving Metal Gear Solid vibes and everything. And in terms of the actor that, you know, people have been talking about that could be possibly be playing the main character in this game, a lot of people have been saying that either Robert Pattinson, which I don't know, that looking at this poster, it definitely could be him. I don't know. But the other actor that people have been going with, and I forgot the actor's name. What is the actor's name? I know he was in Fantastic Beasts. Oh yeah, Eddie Redmayne. If you don't know who Eddie Redmayne is, he was in the Fantastic Beast movies, and I think he was also in that that freaking biopic, The Theory of Everything. It was like a biopic on, I forget which real life person it was a biopic on. Yeah, Stephen Hawking. It was a biopic on Stephen Hawking. And so a lot of people have been saying that Eddie Redmayne, it looks like the protagonist, or obviously it's a very, we can't really tell who it is. It's, it's enraptured in like, shadow, and like, you can't really see the person's face. And so that's the person that people have been speculating that it could be. Me personally, it could be. I don't know. That would be awesome if it was. It would be even more awesome if they got Robert Pattinson to play a character in a Hideo Kojima game. That would be awesome. I would definitely love to see that. But yeah, man, that's most of the information that they had about PHYSINT. And that's mainly all the things I wanted to cover in this video. In the comments down below, give me your thoughts and opinions on all the topics that I talked about today. Are you excited for the state of play for tomorrow? Are you excited for the new projects that Hideo Kojima, has been working on with OD and PHYSINT? Leave all your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. And yeah, man, that's going to do it for this video. And so I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. And so yeah, bye.